I can't play that, so I'll play this instead. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. Evening! There's an old man. He's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you got us feeling all right. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up your smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. He said, John, I believe this is killing me, as the smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Paul, he's a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife. And he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy, and probably will be for life. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Well, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. That's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday in October, a wet October. And the manager, reluctantly, always reluctantly, She went and had her hair done. Look at that. She combed it, brushed it. You did. You washed it. Gives me a smile. I've done nothing. I didn't even shave tonight. I was very busy. But I just said, but in despite of that. But I've got my Mentos.
I want those.
Too late. Because she knows it's me. Because she knows it's me. They've been coming to see, to forget about life. Oh yes, life, life, me, life, for a while. Oh, and the piano sounds like a carnival, and the microphone, it smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar, hopefully, and say, man, what are you doing here? La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right.
All right. Look, we were late going up. We can't hang around. Well, hello everyone. Welcome. Lovely to see you all. At last, we do apologise. Technical problems and completely understandable. And but we're here. And welcome to everyone who's here, and particularly people who might be joining us for the first time. I particularly want to say hello to Joan, who is with Pickles. Now, Joan, you've been dealing with COVID for the last 5 months, and this is the first time you've been able to watch with Pickles. So welcome. Pickles, we are delighted that your mum, Joan, can be with us.
It's a great name. Can I say Pickles is one of the great names of English tradition. And not many people can say, if you fall down, you say, I'm a pickle in a pickles, in a pickle. I'm a pickles in a pickle. It's a great name. Hello, Joan.
Welcome, Joan.
Nice to see you.
And anyone else who's watching for the first time, hello.
Hello.
It's lovely to see you.
Greetings, and we greet you in the name of Barney here too as well. There's Barney with who's just very sad. My granddaughter that's her Barney. She came yesterday, and so she asked for Barney. She wanted his company to join his brother,
Owlie, who's her toy.
Is a toy. So we got.
And she actually did want to take Barney home, and I had to say, no, I'm very sorry, but his fans need him.
We start with kind of an overture to friendship. Gosh, that was... Did you see what I did there? An overture to friendship. I just made that up, literally, on the spot. And you say I'm not talented. You people out there, you don't understand how incredibly blessed you are to have me here on a Sunday evening. And any of you who were thinking in the middle of it, of going and watching a chick flick or go and search The Midwife or anything else that's on now, all of that, Hunt the Midwife, I don't care about that, all right? You're here with me. Put the television down. Move away from the television. There is nothing to see.
Oh, I know. A lot
there.
of people are watching you on the television.
Well, when they're watching me on the
screen.
television, then it's fine. So, and now, ladies and gentlemen, in an overture to friendship. in an overture to friendship. I like that so much, I'm going to use that from now on. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled waters, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled waters, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled waters. I will ease your mind, like a bridge over troubled waters. I will ease your mind.
Wow, that was beautiful. I did say to him just before we started, how's the voice this evening? You've not warmed
Not
up
very good at all.
particularly. But it sounds stunning, doesn't it? That is particularly for Jenny. Jenny, you asked for this particularly because your brother Mark died recently, and that was a particular song that you wanted in order to remember him.
And I'm so sorry, Jenny. That's very
That is
hard.
a hard story.
People are losing people over this time, and it feels worse, doesn't it?
Yes.
It feels worse. It feels the pain is that much greater. In times of unsurety and unstable times, when our feet are not firmly on anything, it's like I went out on my brother-in-law's not surfboard, what do they call them? Sailboard. What do they call it? Come on, where you just step.
Paddleboard.
Paddleboarding. He's a paddleboarder, a very good paddleboarder. And he said to me, he lives in Maidenhead, would you come out with me? So next time I went, I said, yeah, okay, game for it. So I just got my shorts and whatever, took my socks and shoes and socks off. And I thought, it can't be that difficult. And we went out on the lake, and it was a beautiful evening. It was a beautiful, beautiful evening. And so you'd sit on your knees first of all, and then you stand up. And actually, I got on my knees, and it was bad because I've got problems with my feet because of the diabetic stuff, and so it hurt me a lot to kneel. There's no doubt, but I thought, well, I'll maintain that. And he said, now you have to stand up, and I could not stand up. It didn't matter. I was going to go back. I was tipping like this because it's very unstable, and that's what I felt like. It's like when we're dealing with our life at the moment, it's very difficult. Judy, I'm going to sing this song for you now, Judy Steele.
Judy's watching from hospital.
She's watching from hospital. And Judy, hi. You said you weren't going to last out the evening, so could I sing this straight away for you? And so I'm going to sing this for you. It's a spiritual song, and we always say to people, you are welcome and I say it every week, and I will keep saying it. You are welcome into this this evening, this JV Live from the Steinway Room, show 27, I think it is. Whether you have faith, no faith, on the border, don't know what you believe, whatever. But we sing, I make no apologies, I sing lots of Christian songs, but we sing lots of songs of all different hues. But particularly these songs that when they come in and are Christian, and somebody asked earlier in the week, am I the only person who's not a Christian in this group? And I said, not by hundreds of people, lots of people who join, who just want to be part of this evening. But this song is written, and it's a comfort to many people. People find faith, and many of us find that our faith keeps us alive in these difficult times. And this one, I did it last time. Now, I sing a lot of Gaither songs. I always want to call them Gaither songs. And but this song always reminds me, whenever I sing it, God sent his son. They called him Jesus. Like in Joseph, all right? And I think they heard this song first. I think they heard this song first and then put, So forgive me if it sounds a bit like that, because I can never quite get the... But it's a beautiful song. God sent his son. They call him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He lived and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives, because he lives, I can face tomorrow, because he lives, all fear is gone, because I know he holds the future, and life is worth the living just because he lives. How sweet to hold a newborn baby and feel the pride and joy he gives. But greater still, the calm assurance this child can face uncertain days because he lives, because he lives. I can face tomorrow, sing with me, sir, because he lives. All fear is gone, because I know who holds the future, and life is worth living just because he lives. And then one day I'll cross the river, I'll fight life's final war with pain, and then as death gives way to victory, I'll see the light of glory, and I know he lives, because he lives. I can face tomorrow because he lives. All fear is gone, because I know who holds the future, and life is worth living just because he lives. And life is worth living just because he lives.
So that was for you, Judy, and for someone else who is possibly having to leave us very soon. Dan Bellamy is going to have to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning because he starts his new job tomorrow.
Well done,
So
Dan.
Dan, well done, and we are so proud of you. And you get out there and you start feeding those people in that care home. So God bless you when you leave us, and have a good day tomorrow.
Now this one has been for a man who's been requesting songs. Gareth, I know you've been off with not so well this week, and you've been requiring songs for a long time, and I haven't sung. But I learnt this one for you. Okay? I hope you enjoy it. And it's about my baby grand piano. There's a line in it that I'm going to have to explain in the middle. Billy Joel. Late at night, when it's dark and cold, I reach out for someone to hold. When I'm blue, when I'm lonely, she comes through. She's the only one who can. My baby grand is all I need. In my time, I wanted everywhere. Oh, all around the world, that's true. She would always be there, any day, any hour. All it takes is the power in my hands. This baby grand's been good to me. Oh, I've had friends, but they slipped away. I've had fame, but I tell you, it just doesn't stay. I've made fortunes, I spent them fast enough. As for women, they don't last with just one man, apart from this one. That's the line. But baby grand will stand by me. They say no one's gonna play this on the radio. They said the melancholy blues were dead and gone. But only songs like these, played in minor keys, keep those memories holding on. I've come far from the life I've strayed in. Oh, I've got scars from those dives I've played in. That's so true. Now I'm home, thankfully, and I'm weary, that's true. In my bones, in every dreary one-night stand. But baby grand, come home with me. Oh, ever since this gig began, my baby grand's been good for me. Oh, baby grand's been good, ooh, to me. Did you like that?
Yeah, that was good.
But you didn't like it, did you? You know, nobody likes
like it.
I love
think
that
I
song.
just said I did.
And
I did like
it says, as for women, they don't last with just one man. Apart from this one, obviously,
me.
who's lasted 38
Yes.
years. And what can I say?
I know that you're very lucky.
What can I say apart from...
You're very lucky.
Boy, I'm tired. And now, just before I phone somebody I want to talk to, I'm going to do a song for... well, I've still got the voice.
Okay.
The recording, I'll tell you a bit about the recording later on, but this one I went and recorded this and patched it the other day, God on high, hear my prayer. And this is for Rob. To explain about Rob, Sue.
So, Rob lost his son 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Is that right, Rob? 3 years ago, a couple of days ago. And
Really
absolutely tragic story. Chris was cycling home and someone hit him and drove on. And what a terrible thing to be woken up to in the middle of the night. So,
especially as Rob had actually just reconciled.
Yeah. It was such sad news. And I know that it's hard for him every year, both for him and his wife die. And I think this year was particularly hard. And but I know that Rob found being part of a community like this a real support. And so we just want to tell you that we love you and that we feel your pain. And Jonathan's going to sing this one for you.
And it's sounding good, isn't it, Sue, on the recording?
It's sounding stunning on the recording.
So we're starting to get the orchestration together. And I recorded it the other day. I don't know how good it's going to be tonight. We'll see. God on high, hear my prayer in my need. You have always been there. He is young, he's afraid. Let him rest. Heaven bless. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home. He's like the son I might have known if God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one. How soon they fly, on and on. And I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He's young, he's only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be. Let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home.
I think there are probably a lot of tears to that one, and well done, JV, for getting through it. I know you will. I know you will. And yes, our love goes out to Rob and Di particularly, and to all of you actually who are really struggling, because it's been a tough week, hasn't it? I think a lot of us have found that it's been a difficult week, and yeah, we've needed each other a lot. And as Louise put up on the Facebook community page, something about the fact that this community hopefully is somewhere where you feel that you can be completely yourself. You don't have to polish yourself up. You don't have to make yourself look great. You can just come as you are, and we accept you.
Why are you saying that about me?
Which is fortunate.
It's 2040. I need to get on now.
Is fortunate. Okay, bye.
Here we go. Oh, why is it? Oh, of course, yes, it's 2040. I'm sorry, but we started 5 minutes late, didn't we?
You've interrupted me now, so that's fine.
What was that? What else was there to say?
No, carry on.
No, you're not. Please say. Finish
No,
it.
no, I finished now. Move on.
No, what were you saying?
I was saying I finished it.
I'm just saying about my looks.
Yes. Enough said.
All right. Can you unmute the phone, please.
I can unmute the phone. There you go.
And here we go. Now, all this works. There we go.
Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening, the Isle of Wight, and good evening, Ventnor.
Yep. I would like to say sunny Isle of Wight, but unfortunately it's probably like most of the country, blowing a gale.
It is. But it's very dramatic. Whenever that's my second home, Ventnor, and I often love to sit looking. Well, when we were down on holiday, I remember watching a storm. We were right on the seafront. We were staying in an accommodation right on the seafront, and it was the most violent storm that I'd ever seen there. And it was right up over the street, crawling towards our accommodation. And it was just so dramatic there. It's a lovely place that you live, there's no doubt. But you moved. You didn't always live there, did you?
No. Well, Nicola, my long-suffering wife, and I have lived in a number of places, latterly from Essex, but I've lived around... Sorry?
You lived all over the place, didn't you? Where did you...
Well, I started. I'm an Essex boy, as a lot of people are, unfortunately, and I know someone's got to be. And moved all around the country with work. I worked for Debenhams for a number of years as a boy and man, and became a director with them, and worked in places far north as Belfast and far south as Bournemouth, and then. Got made redundant in 2002, went to work for a company called Orders that many people loved and is now gone. And then went to work for Tesco in Eastern Europe for about 3.5 years, which was wonderful, in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, which was a marvellous experience. And I've always been in retail and retail operations, and in the last few years have been, I guess, helping businesses where they need to reposition or unfortunately gone into liquidation, and trying to help them out of some sort of puddle. But I guess the older you get, you realise the less you know.
Yes, but you know a lot of stuff, and I've been very impressed in my conversations with you about your knowledge of business and your can-do kind of attitude towards things, and where did that come from? You feel like a barra boy to me, getting out there, giving it some, and giving it, always possibilities, not problems.
Well, you've put the answer in the question. No, in truth, I guess when we focus on the problem, we wrap ourselves up in the problem, and you realise that focusing on the solution, and the solution bringing the opportunities, is what works. And I know a lot of people who listen to this, and we see each week and see on the Facebook, the problems that people face and how very hard it is, to use a very old expression, to pull yourself up by your shoelaces, because they can snap and put you flat on your back. And it's tough. And when we've gone into businesses, or I've gone into businesses, and people are sadly losing their jobs, you have to try and win their hearts and minds and say, look, it is going to be okay somehow. I don't know how, but it is going to be okay. And your song before last, we can face tomorrow. Whether people have a faith or not, we can all face tomorrow, as tough as it's going to be, because today will be behind us tomorrow. And that's something we can all focus on. I see lots of so much negative stuff, and took a service today at church in St. Catherine's in Ventnor, and talking about the negative, how much we've all stopped probably listening to the media, but some of the important things are being missed. And it didn't take much to Google the fact that there's tonight 821 million people will go to bed hungry, and that's frightening.
Stunning.
And we, and it sort of brings on to the community about the little bits of differences make huge impact, and we've seen that week after week after week and carry on all the time.
Yeah, and I think actually that's where we share the passion. The reason I've got you on tonight, Adrian, is because we've been mooting for many weeks now about this. You've got a friend fund, and I think actually have we got Adrian's picture up there? Yeah, we got Adrian's picture, and I started talking to you about this some weeks ago, and I got various people involved. But what I wanted your energy and your enthusiasm and your can-do to see whether it was a goer or whether I was actually just barking up the wrong tree. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with this You've Got a Friend fund, whatever we're going to call it, trust, and explain why things are not progressing as quickly as we want them to, but for good reason. Just talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it's grown over the weeks of these Sunday evenings, and I know that in talking with both you and Sue, how stunned you've been with the generosity of everyone in the community. And I think the community has also been stunned by your generosity as well, which probably don't give you as much credit as we should. And, you know, at the heart of the JV community, you and Sue have a passion for identifying those in need, to help who we can, to help those within the community, or maybe call it the family, because if we use the word family, it is regardless in my family of their faith, belief, background, creed or colour. Correct. I would help my family, and I know you regard as a family. Yeah. And that started the conversation. Of, you said, trust a charity. I'm not quite sure what it's going to develop, but we got two other lovely people, Deborah Pepper and Colin Matthews, who are helping to work through and find the best way of doing this. And I think we wanted to give a little bit more tonight than we're probably going to be able to, because the one thing that we have all insisted on, and you've insisted on, is transparency. Yes. And we have a longevity that keeps this going a long time after all of us. Yes. And keeping liability away from you and Sue, because we need to make sure that happens as well. And having a governance as well. I know this is all sounding very complicated and very business, but I can assure you, with Deborah and Colin and myself, we don't want to make it complicated. We really will untangle this as much as we can.
What's it for, do you see? What do you see this trust, this fund, whatever, what do you see it doing? I know I've wanted and reflected that to you, but tell me how you guys see it working.
How we see it working, or who it's for?
Who it's for, and how we see it working. Let's deal with who it's for. Who it's for. Let's start there.
Well, I think the question is, it's everybody, Jonathan. And I think there are little ways that we can help. It's not going to be, I need a new car, undoubtedly, but it is going to be, well, maybe.
Maybe you get a BMW out of this, is that what you're saying?
No. That's why we have three very reliable people to govern this.
2 church wardens and an ex-vicar. We're going with that.
And no criminal records, I can assure you. But I think it's where people need small bits of help. You know, we're all going to get through a lot of problems over the next couple of months. How does somebody get a taxi to get some flu jab? Or how does somebody get to have a COVID test? Or how does somebody get a bus? And we're coming into Christmas where maybe some people on this community would have had a family round for Christmas, or done something for people over the Christmas period. We may not be able to do that this year, but we might be able to buy a food package. Yes. We might be able to help people in a small way. And I've used this illustration many times where the small things do make a difference. And if anyone thinks they are too small to make a difference, try going to bed to sleep with a mosquito in your room. It's... And those, we've all tried it and we can't get to sleep. And that for me is an example of the small thing that can make a huge difference. And how will this work? We see, and I guess this is over to the community really, of, individual gifts, one-off, regular donations. A lot of people tithe, but tithe isn't just about 10%. We have things like direct debits. I imagine the community could come up with some amazing fundraising ideas. And just this Christmas, for example, you can tell I love the Google facts, and I know you love ridiculous facts as well, but in the UK alone, we will send 900 million Christmas cards this year. Think of the cost. And that's about £22 each. Yeah. Well, that's good that we send a card because it says, I thought of you. But how great it will be within the community to say, we thought of you. And that we thought of you sort of, for me, sums this up. And I think there's another question. Sorry, I'm sort of hogging this a bit, really. But
that's why I phoned you, mate. This is up to you.
Well, there's another question about that song, the Billy Joel song you sang, that it's going to be a long time before you can pick up your baby grand under your arm and taking it around the country. And on the feed tonight, there's over 250 people, and if we had all, every single week, have been privileged to come along to your concerts, the income of that would have been around 50,000 before expenses for you and Sue. And those things, I think, should, as a community, concern us about you and Sue as well. And I don't mean to embarrass you both by this, but I see there are two streams of income for you. There is the merchandise, which I imagine has started to reduce because everybody may have bought anything. And if you haven't, Sue, I'm sure, will be delighted to tell us how we can later. And the other is the generosity of your giving, is the giving that people give, but also the generosity of your giving back, the 25%, which for me is outstandingly generous. And I have to ask the question, it'd be interesting to see the community. Is that right that you continue to give this 25%? And I apologize if I embarrass you. And then the third stream, the new stream, is going to be the You've Got a Friend Trust. And we need to make sure, and this is a concern of us as trustees of this, that your ability, your and Sue's ability to survive, as your earnings are zero, still stands. And we want to make sure, and I'm sure everyone in the community who is so grateful week after week after week of the work, the effort and the love that you two put into this, wants to make sure you are supported as well. I don't know what the answer is, Jonathan. That's to you and Sue. But it'd be interesting later to look back at the feeds that people have said on this. So apologies if I've embarrassed you in that at all.
That's very sweet of you to even raise it. And it is obviously a concern of ours. But, one of the things is that we started out, when we said about receiving money, we never charged for entrance fees because that's not what we want to do. People have said, oh, you can charge a £5 or a £10 entrance fee. And I thought, actually, there are people who can't even afford that. And I don't want to demand that.
No.
And I just we wanted to give this as a gift because there are other people. We're not, by no means are we destitute. We know lots of people who are that close to the line. And therefore, generosity seems to be our heart. That's where our passion is, to be kind and generous to people as much as we can be. And so 25%, it could have been, 10%, but we said 25 to go over the top. And as a result, people have been kind and generous. And we're able to support many charities, etc. I guess it's finding that balance, isn't it? Because
yes.
I find it very difficult, if I'm honest with you right now. I find it as a man in nearly 60, having to put a begging bowl out every week and say, would you mind playing for a song? It so offends me to my core of who I am, because I've always worked and paid my way. And so suddenly I can't, and I'm being denied that possibility by government legislation and by whatever science, whether it's spurious or not. I am denied that opportunity, and it will be denied me for another 9 months. And so because of me, because of Sue, and also with the transplant coming up, it's even worse. It's like a double whammy. It just hits us. But I wanted this in the heart of that. I wanted this to be separate, and I wanted people to give to this and to bless people as much as possible. So, is there anything you want to say about this? No, come here. Just come here and speak over here. You want to say, because I think we need to just say this. Okay.
Hello, Adrian, darling.
Hello, Sue.
So lovely to hear from you. And can I just say, people are really loving your take on this, and they're loving the fact that you've called this the JV family, which I think is a wonderful, lovely description. And aren't we blessed to have everyone around? And a few people have asked how they can actually give. They're already wanting to know how they can donate. So are we still doing that through PayPal at the moment, or are we setting it up, or what are we doing?
Well, I think at the moment, because we want to make sure we get bank accounts separate to you too, for litigation liability, for trust and everything else, that you two never have the problem of somebody saying in the future, did you dip into that? I think at the moment we've got to work a way of keeping that separate. And that's what Deborah and Colin and myself are working on very quickly. And I guess that's almost a priority. And so for the moment, I believe, and I hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn, I think people need to continue to pay into the PayPal. But it would also be great. I certainly don't mind being contacted, and I'm on the Facebook, I'm on the site. Certainly don't mind posting my email address if that helps, to get a feeling of what the commitment would be, because I think working this forward is going to be critical of not being able to say we just can't afford to do that. We would rather be in a position of saying, yes, we can do that. And if we have the answers yes, now what's the question approach, it feels more comfortable. And I think it will feel comfortable with the community. So I'm sorry I can't answer the question. We were hoping to have all these in place. But I think if everyone can just work with us and be enthusiastic about the community, as we know they are, we see it week after week. I'm blown away by it every single week, by the humour and the sadness.
Yeah, I think it is in equal measure, and I think that's where for me my faith lies. It's in those margins. That's where faith often does lie. It lies in the margins, and where people find where they have no faith and they come and join. What they see is an attractive thing about what we are together as a family. And where we all we sit at the same table, we eat at the same table, and we all welcome every single person. I cannot stress that enough to people. For people who are feeling marginalised in any way, you are part of this family. I love that, and this online family, and hopefully one day we meet together. God help us, and we all meet together and hear John Dick's terrible jokes in reality.
And set another seat at your next dinner table for somebody within the community, and that's the price we want people to give. But also, let's make sure people are not under feeling that this is evangelistic. Give me your money and you will have eternal life. I know you stress that, Jonathan, very clearly. Never. You are passionately about not that.
Not that. We are not televangelists. We are not raising money on behalf of God will give you blessing if you do this, you will get that. None of that whatsoever. If you give, it is more blessed to give than to receive, and I think we passionately believe that. Now, Adrian, we're going to have to sing a song, but otherwise people will be slitting their wrists, because I've met you, and I know I'm bored already with you, mate.
So I've had my... do you mean I've had my hair done and my nails done for nothing?
I know. Hey, next time you come on, I promise it will be a visual thing, and that will really frighten them, because you know that picture. You know that
Don't
picture
go there.
Around about 15 years old.
I just can't get my picture out of my head of you on a paddleboard, Jonathan. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. That's it. There is another sleepless night.
One day we'll tell you the story of Jonathan trying to do boogie boarding.
Oh, that was hilarious. On the Isle of Wight. And failing,
Wonderful.
Standing there waiting, standing with my hands in the air, and the waves, everybody was They were sailing in on that. No, they were sailing. It's bodyboarding, and they were just going. And I couldn't do it. I've never ever come in on a wave ever. Never caught one. Not one. I stood there. People were just laughing on the beach because I had my hands in the air, and then I'd just go down in the water and sink, and that was it. And that was near Sandown. So hey, listen, we've got to go. I'll talk to you in the week. It's blessed. It's the voice that they're going to hear again. So everybody, if you want to write to Adrian on Facebook, you can friend him. Adrian Pinnock is his name. Pinnock. Adrian and Nicola, his wife, lovely wife. They're just lovely people, genuine people, as you've heard. Right, go off and go.
Jonathan, God bless you both, and be assured of our love and prayers to you both.
Thank you so much, mate.
God bless you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
What a good chap. What a good egg. Now, I'm going to do a...
And this one is for Cindy. Cindy, it was your birthday this week, and this is a song that we would like to sing for you. Or not me, Jonathan would like to sing for you.
Someday over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops are light upon the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I? I was going to do one more.
Okay.
Before Chris
we
comes
have our
in
guest
to see.
come in.
Now, should I do the Moonlight Sonata, or should I do Make Me a Channel of Your Peace? Because I need the book if I do. Or Still You Speak. How about Still You Speak? Have you got that in there?
Yes. I think the Still You Speak was in those, no?
Or just a closer? You can sing with me. Just a closer. Can you remember it? written with Sue Rinaldi, and on the album Hymns Project 2. I'm weak, but thou art strong. Jesus, keep me from all wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Oh, let me walk with thee.
Through this world of toils and snares, if I falter, Lord, who cares? Who with me my burden shares?
None but thee, dear Lord. Just a closer walk with thee, granted Jesus this my plea. I'm daily walking close with thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. When my feeble life is old, time for me will be no more. Guide me safely home to thy shore, to thy kingdom shore. Just a closer walk with thee, granted Jesus this my plea. I'm daily walking close with thee. Let it be, dear Lord. Oh, just a closer walk with thee, granted Jesus this my plea. I'm daily walking close with thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Sorry for the deliberate mistakes
That's
there.
all right,
I haven't
darling.
played that for some time.
That was also, can I dedicate that to Chloe, who asked for it, because she said it's been on her mind all week. But I also would like to dedicate it to Sylvia and Jim. It was your diamond anniversary last Thursday. And your lovely sister Evelyn would like to just dedicate that one, or dedicate a song to you, and that's the one that we've chosen. Wow. So Sylvia and Jim, well done, Diamond. Wow, that's a lot of years.
Now,
where is he?
Could you open the door?
Ta-da.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, big drum roll. Bum, 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 bum. Is he in the toilet? Bum, he was in the toilet. Get off the toilet. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from my front lounge and Hazelmere down the road in Surrey is the lovely, the gorgeous, the bald Chris. And wait for the name. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the name. And he came in an orange jacket.
It's on the screen.
Chris Orange.
Hello there.
Now, first of all, Chris, welcome. But where did the name Orange come from?
Well,
William of Orange, I
yes,
suppose.
we think so.
Really?
Well, there's obviously every family has its legends. And
Are you saying you're a legend? Don't show off. Nobody likes to show off.
it goes all the way back. And yeah, there's hope in some of my family, especially my daughters, that it goes back to William. But I think in the end it just goes back to a tiny French village.
Oh, yes, of course.
Orange.
Yeah, oui, absolutely. I mean, duck à l'orange. No, I'm a very sophisticated kind of guy. I don't have my duck with lemons. You don't hear duck à la limon. So anyway, enough of this. Now, Chris, you would have known Chris, and many people will say, well, who is Chris Orange? Why is he here? Well, every week you see a picture which welcomes you, all right, onto the site. Says welcome to thing, and you see a new picture, and it's published every week on Facebook, and it's there for everybody to see for the rest of eternity. Probably that's a bit long, but you know, give or take 10,000 years. Yeah. You'll be there for posterity. Your name will be there attached, right? When you're dead and gone, it'll be picture Chris Orange. And so this is the man who took the photographs. And those of you who know him as Project 2 will know that those pictures that were taken are the most magnificent Steinway.
Absolutely.
In here.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. No, the first one.
Look,
that one. The pictures. People often say the picture's better than the record, so they often just put it up and it's wall art. You know, it's because it's so nice. There it is. There it is. Look, can you see it? Yeah, you showing people. And you got some fantastic pictures. And in fact, we were saying they're the best pictures, and I've had a lot of pictures over the years, and they were the most honest pictures I've ever had. So tell us about what you do for a living.
Yeah, well, I'm a photographer, and I work as a landscape and commercial photographer. So I could be shooting food for food magazines, could be shooting landscape photos for a whiskey brand.
Can you tell us something we would have seen? So tell us something that you would have, some food that you would have taken. Sainsbury's?
Not Sainsbury's, no. Shivers whiskey.
Oh, no. I don't, well, my son will. My son will.
Glenlivet whiskey.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Right. That's you?
Yeah, some of them. They have many photographers.
Snap.
But
okay.
I've done all kinds of whiskies.
Is it difficult?
Gin. Yeah, it can be. It just depends what you're shooting. If you're shooting in, say, my favourite is to shoot those bottles or products in landscape, in kind of settings.
Oh, right, in a setting.
So I would take them, say, maybe I took whiskey to Iceland and shot the whiskey on the rocks, the icebergs.
Oh, right,
and so you have there the sunrise coming up with these beautiful icebergs on black volcanic sands with whiskey there. So they're my favourite kind of commercial shoots.
Yeah, I bet they are. Yeah. I'm afraid I just need to go to the Caribbean to shoot Malibu. I'm sorry, but...
Exactly.
Oh, sorry. I think it's Hawaii. Let's go from there. Then, well, I thought we could go kind of just do a tour, don't you?
Yeah.
Just a tour.
Yeah.
I think it would look better. Let's just see. I'm not sure. Let's do 4 location shoots, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's call it Barbados, Hawaii. It's all right. Okay, so you go location shooting.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And every now and again, you do portraits of me. Like, how do you manage the honesty? What's that about?
Well, I think when you're taking a portrait, for me, I prefer to make the portrait session more like a conversation, where I would like to think that I could maybe touch into however you're feeling about the project that we're shooting, and then the hope is then from that I'll capture that moment as you express how you're feeling about that situation. And I think, some of the portraits that I like to look at, I like it where you feel like the person that has been photographed has really kind of engaged into that moment, rather than just kind of a cheesy smile, has actually engaged something within them that they've brought out onto the camera. And I think they're the most powerful portraits, because you're seeing something into the person.
That for me is where you struck gold. It's not because I hate photographs, all right, of myself, and so I don't want people to see in. So what I do is this, and I will give I've had so many photographs taken over so many years because of my on stage presence. Yeah. The photographers in Glyndebourne were.
Yeah, so the photographer that used to do Glyndebourne and many other opera houses said that he had more photographs of Jonathan than any other person, simply because Jonathan on stage, when
tell the truth,
a character, is very photogenic. Yeah. He's very expressive with those eyes and everything else. But actually, you caught him as Jonathan. That is very rare, because normally he gets all tense and he holds it in. So the fact that you've actually caught him very relaxed and very happy.
But also, Chris, it was to do with who you were.
Yeah.
And you immediately hit off. We shared a kind of background, a faith, and a perspective on life, I suppose. There was that. Yeah. But it wasn't. That's not always essential for a good relationship. It's just it's just a thing that you end up sharing common ground. Yeah. But you seem to me to be a decent chap who's been on a journey.
Definitely been on a journey. Yes. And
because you're a lot older than you look.
am I? How old?
You see
know
how
old
the
I am.
people. Okay, everybody. Now, I want everybody. Don't say anything. I want people now interactive. I love interactive Facebook. I want people to write because I'm a bitter and twisted man, and I need a little bit of comfort here because everybody says, John, you look a lot older than you actually are. So, Chris, how old do you think he is? Put the numbers in, type them in now. You'll get through.
Whilst they get that, there's an interesting question, that someone
go on.
has asked that says, what does Chris think about the ethics of retouching pictures, especially to change people's appearance to suit the brand?
Oh, that's
wow.
cool.
We're getting deep on.
Wow.
I see. My audience, they're intellectuals,
We're getting
all right?
deep already.
We're talking the morality, the ethics of photography.
Is it going to be a Photoshop tutorial?
It is. Okay, so chapter 1. Okay, off you go. Discuss.
Well, personally, I like portraits to be as the person. Now, obviously, if you want to look into fashion, that's a whole genre of its own. Where I don't shoot fashion, so I don't go down that road. And there is obviously a whole lot of retouching for brands in that.
Yes.
All I would say to that is, I guess they're trying to show a brand, but for my daughters, I wouldn't encourage them to look at those photos and say, you need to be like this.
Good.
Because it's a complete lie.
Absolutely.
And so I don't want them to look at that.
Great.
But what I prefer is honest portraits. And actually, I think brands would do better to have honest portraits.
Yeah, they would.
agree.
And I think people are,
we would prefer that. I think we would be more drawn to their brand.
always.
And you're beginning to see it. I've seen a few photos recently with some clothing brands where you think, actually, that's looking a bit more honest.
Honest.
Yeah.
I think there is a kind of that we start to see through the facade.
Yeah.
And we're going, actually, that's not the because what photographs do is they dictate a lifestyle. They tell you can have this life.
Yeah.
You know, this is the life you need to live.
Yeah. Well, it's the social media life.
Exactly, it's that whole that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think actually that the mess that I look. I mean, you know, I'm a mess. All right. Okay.
I'm sorry. I wasn't quick enough. Oh, darling, no.
Exactly. Just jump in quickly.
Sorry. Can I just say?
Yes.
You've had everything from 21
to 78.
to 65. Quite a lot, sort of early 40s, mid 40s.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Shall I say?
Okay,
Yes,
go
on,
now.
go for
Go
it.
on.
Well, I'm currently 46. I'll soon be 47. In a few
Hey.
weeks'
Okay,
time.
all right. Well, you look good. You've lived a good life. You look. Your skin's looking great. Look, we're going to get into why particularly you've come in tonight, because I think actually one of the things that we don't do, I guess it's my fault, I'm not great on visual arts. Okay, I'm not great on the visual arts, and I know people out there. Leslie Sutton, who's a great visual artist, and she's Roger and Leslie out there probably watching tonight. We send them big love to you, particularly this time. I don't get it as easily. Okay, I'm a kind of I know what I like kind of you know.
Yeah.
But when I saw what you did, and then that you were publishing a book, well, tell us about that a little bit, just to opening, and then we'll get into some.
Sure. Can I show the book?
You can share,
yes.
definitely.
So I have it
show
here
it
with
to
me.
the camera.
Yeah, this came out a week ago, and it's called Beauty in the Wild, and it's a journey around remote Britain. I don't know how much I can say yet.
Go on, keep going, and then we'll get into some pictures.
Yeah.
In a second.
So about 5 years ago, I began a journey to travel to some of the remotest areas around Great Britain. To seek out areas that perhaps were more rarely visited, to display those to a wider audience, partly to say to people, look at what you're missing. You know, people travel abroad, go and, obviously to amazing countries, but not everyone realizes just how beautiful this country is, especially at its edge.
Yes.
And for me, I'm the kind of person who loves to be, I kind of think about it as the edge of the world. So whether that's where the land meets the tide, or whether a mountain meets the clouds, I like to be in that place where I feel like I am on the edge of things and in that remote place. And so I wanted to capture that remoteness and bring that back. And I've spent the last 5 years going out, traveling, shooting it.
Curating effectively your own museum of pictures.
Yeah, and I've picked my kind of favourite 42, which are in this coffee table book.
And actually, you've been highly mentioned in dispatches, have you not? In Sunday Times.
Oh, some of the press, yeah, because it got picked up. I think because of the whole staycation thing and people kind of looking for holidays, perhaps within Britain.
Yes.
It ended up being picked up by a few of the national newspapers.
And
so,
they like it?
Yeah, some lovely reviews, which has been great. So
tell us some good ones. Come on.
Oh, well, the Metro talked about it as just stunning landscapes that capture kind of hidden gems around the country. The Times said some nice things. Yeah, you can find them online.
Well, and don't hide your light under a bushel. Reviews do mean a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm here promoting it because I believe in it. I think it's beautiful. I mean, we were looking at the at the books. So we're going to look at a few pictures in a minute.
Okay.
Right. We're going to have a little session where we do a moment where we're going to sing the song that we always sing each week, and you can. This is a chance for you to put your books down, breathe in, and join us in the old Carole King song. It's sounding so funky, girls and boys, on the new recording. Really great, and we've got brass and everything on it now. And I'm going tomorrow to the studio to try and get the instructional moment. And all you're going to get, for those of you who paid for this, I think 90 or 98 of you, you're going to get this instructional video which tells you where to sing and how to sing it. You have to remember what I said to you, you have to have two devices. You have to have something to capture it on. You have to have a phone. So a phone, right? You'll receive an email with this thing. You record that and then send it. So you've got to have another device like an iPad, a computer, a webcam will be fine, something like that, a laptop or your computer. I know somebody like Brother Andrew, he's got a computer that he can put headphones into one and then record from another. If you need help to do it, then call your son or your daughter. You haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, right? And the technology, we're going to put this tiny little instructional video, and then you'll get that. You won't get the whole song. You'll get the portion of the song that you're singing, 2 choruses, and the outro, okay? So you've got the outplay, and you go, you've got a friend, you got a friend, you've got a friend, and we'll sing, you've got a friend, you've got a friend. You've got to do that loads of times. And as you sing that, we'll put your pictures up on Nick's forming the video that will go out, and we'll put that out onto Facebook and YouTube. Okay, that's the idea, okay? Okay, let's sing it.
Yes.
Couldn't remember what I did next. It was play the piano. It's difficult in this, it is. I do so much. I'm so talented. There we go. And Chris, if you feel the urge to join in, resist it. I'm joking, because you've got a lovely voice. His brother's a professional musician, and I think he grew up in a very musical family. So we're about to find out whether he's going to become the latest JVBV track, okay? There we go. When you're down and troubled, and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. Sing it with me. You just call out my name. You just and go. Call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer or fall. Winter, spring, summer or fall. All you gotta do is call. I'll sing this and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You got a friend. You've got a friend. He's got a nice voice today. Do you want to take the show over? If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together now, soon I'll be knocking at your door. Stand by, everybody. Here we are after 2. 1, 2. You just and 1. Call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Bit of harmony from you, please, Chris. Harmony and winter, spring, summer or fall. Lovely. Oh my God. All you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will.
You got a friend.
No, goes into the next bit. Now, ain't it good to know that you've got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you and desert you. They'll take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. Get ready? You just and 1. Call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. Oh, darling, you got a friend. You've got a friend. Oh, darling, you've got a friend. You've got a friend. Oh, my sweet darling, you've got a friend. You've got a friend. And eventually you'll stop up that. You've got a friend. I have to say, he's got a beautiful voice.
Lovely voice.
Really sensational. Right.
What a
You're
find.
coming in here definitely doing BBs from now on. Excellent. Okay, everybody. That will be. I'm going to the studio tomorrow to Brighton to record it, and hopefully we'll have it packaged and sent to you on an email. You can then listen to it. Record yourself, remember, with 2 devices. You've got to have a pair of headphones. If you can rummage around, when you received your phone, you were given a pair of headphones. Cheap, nasty things. They don't need to be great big things over the ears. They can have them in like this. As long as you can hear, we don't want to it's called spill. We don't want to hear the actual record. We just need to hear your voice. So you've got the thing going on in your ear. You've got a friend. And for old people, you can do this. Like Val Doonican. Just imagine Val. Jumpers. All that kind of thing. Andy Williams. You can do that at the same time. All right? And we don't need you to keep still when you're doing it. And put a bit of makeup on before you're going. And that, particularly the men, before you come onto the screen. Don't come on in your pyjamas. That's for me to do. Smarten yourselves up. Men, have a shave at least, because you'll be going out to literally 5 or 6 people when this finally goes live. So make sure you look good. All right. Now, that was good. I hope you enjoyed all that. Have they been writing in? Are they enjoying this? Now, we've got a rare treat for you, because the lovely Claire and Rachel we've managed to.
Yes, they've worked hard on this. It's been very hard for them tonight because they've had lots of technical
Lots
stuff
of
to
technical
do.
things to do as well.
The extra work we've
And now.
Now they've got some pictures.
We've got some pictures, and we're going to put these pictures up for you. 3 pictures to begin with, and then I'm going to say change when you just told us about them.
Oh yeah, sure.
Tell us.
Right. First one's up.
Number
First
1.
one's up.
Hit now. Look. So you're going to be
that
talking.
looks
We talk.
lovely.
Right. Tell us about them.
Well, this one is from an island out in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland, and it's called the Isle of Ratasay.
Never even heard of it.
No,
heard of it.
and it's,
Look at those beaches.
Yeah, it's white sandy. You can't see it, can you? See white sandy beaches, beautiful turquoise water,
Just stunning.
beautiful blue sky. It's one of those rare moments in Scotland where you just get the sun, absolutely perfect. And so far Outer Hebrides, it's kind of attached to the Isle of Barra, and the Isle of Barra is. If you look on your map and you go all the way out to the Outer Hebrides, you've got the Isle of Harris and Lewis, and then you come right down to the bottom, and you've got the Isle of Barra there. Now that has a causeway which attaches itself to this beautiful island.
Depending on the
of
tide, I
Vatersay.
suppose.
No, they actually built it up as like a bridge
Okay,
now. So,
okay.
and it's a beautiful place. Now it's really an island of white sandy beaches, a few houses. And on the right day, you could think you are in paradise.
Yes.
It's one of those places. There's you get these moments in Scotland, especially in the Western Islands, where if you're there on the right day and you've got the right weather, you could think, oh my goodness, this is like
I'm in Caribbean.
heaven. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I happened to be there on one of those days. And so, but also, because I was there for quite a few days, I experienced the opposite of weather whilst I was there as well. So,
But isn't that the thrill of the place?
Yeah, it is. And in fact, that's one of the best things about the outer parts of this island of Britain, is that we are battered with storms one minute, and then we are in glorious sunshine the next. And as long as you've got the right gear, you can sustain it.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks. It's beautiful. Should we have another one?
Yeah,
have
next
another
one,
picture?
please, Rachel. This one's mountains.
Ah, yes, this is the Coolin Mountain Range.
Coolins on the
The
Isle of
Coolins on the
Skye.
Isle of Skye.
Yes, one of my faves. And I think the Coolin Mountain Range is one of those ranges in this country where you could visit it 1,000 times and come back with a different photo every time, because the light is continually changing.
Yes.
It's like a magical range, I think,
it is.
because from every angle you've got a different perspective in terms of the height of the mountain, in terms of the beauty. Go in the winter like I did. I've been in quite a few different seasons to Skye, and my favourite by far is going in the winter, because you've got snow on the mountains, and you've got that beautiful kind of contrast of the winter light coming across the focal of the lens, and you can just capture that beautiful kind of contrast of light then on the mountain range. And this one, I was quite far away actually, because I wanted to get that sense of distance and the sense of the colours coming from the winter light.
That's stunning. We'll talk about those in a second, because we had an experience that ourselves. So, should we have Rachel? Can we have the next one?
Next one is Stone Pillar, I think. Is that right?
A pillar.
Oh,
no,
yes.
the standing stone.
Oh, it's
yes,
a standing stone.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The person who put that up 5,000 years ago might not consider it to be a pillar.
No. Wow.
But yeah, it is beautiful, and this
Asterix the Gaul.
it could have been. This is basically a standing stone. Now, if you go around the Western Isles of Scotland and lots of other parts of the coastal areas of kind of Celtic Britain and way before, you get these standing stones, and some of them are like Stonehenge, where you've got rings of stones. But some of my favourites are like this one, which is on the Isle of Harris, and it is near a kind of a place called Horgabost, which almost sounds Icelandic.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, definitely.
So I guess if you keep
Horgabost,
going, you're going to get to Iceland next. So I stood where this standing stone was, and one of the things I love to do, and I've loved on this journey, is to stand in places where people have stood thousands of years ago, where the landscape hasn't changed. Largely would be a very similar landscape to how it was 5,000 years ago. And to think, I'm almost entering a story of sunrise, sunset, over and over again. And the person from that time left this beautiful memory to say, it could have been a burial ground. It could have been.
It's historicity, isn't it? It's just in ever flowing. That sense that you get when you go to a cathedral 1,000 years old.
Exactly.
Prayers have been said in this place for 1,000 years, and you are there on a day.
Exactly.
And it's actually. Can we have the screen back?
Yes, I think they're taking back to the screen. I mean, I'd have to say these pictures are stunning, and people are really enjoying them. But I mean, they're incredible. The colours on them are incredible, and it's a deeply spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Just looking at the photographs, it's wonderful. Actually.
It was for me taking it. It was
Tell us about that journey then. Tell us about that. Like going to these places.
Yeah.
Where was your mind with this?
Well, I'd been through actually quite a difficult period in my life personally, previously to this, and I think for me, one of the ways that I find, I find a release from stress, or to kind of the way that I deal with pressure, is to go to the edges of the world and to experience. It's almost like the landscape has a power to draw out stress and to draw out that sense of. It could be anxiety. It could be dealing with all kinds of issues that have happened to you personally. And I think it kind of, even today, thinking about the lockdown in the last few months, one of the hardest things has been not being able to be in those places where you can find a release of stress and anxiety. And so for me, having been through this difficult period, I was thinking, how can I kind of get this out of my system? How can I work through this? And for me, it was, I've got to get to the edges. I've got to get to the places where I can find this release. And so I just began this journey. I thought, I'm just going to go to the furthest part of the British Isle or Britain
What, did you just
that I
get
can.
in the car and go?
Yeah, well, I just said that I just planned it and said to my wife, you know, I'm going to go to shoot this place, an island, out into the Western Isles. I think I started with Harris and Lewis, and spent a few days there and just shot as much as I could. Just look for the light, look for the best kind of places, but more than that, allowed the landscape to have its moment with me.
Yeah, have its say.
Yeah, because you can easily, as a photographer, you can easily kind of breeze in, take your shots at sunset, at sunrise, and almost pillage from the landscape, as it were. Just take what you want and run. Whereas for me, I was looking for, it's a bit like a pilgrimage, I guess. And that's what it became for me as I travelled to place after place after place over 5 years.
So this is a 5-year journey.
Yeah.
This book represents a 5-year journey for you.
Yeah, exactly that.
This is quite a significant part
so
of your life.
I was down to the Isle of Lundy, which is 12 miles off of Devon.
Yes.
Bardsey Island, which is off the Welsh coast.
I know it, yeah.
Up to many of the Scottish islands, and then over to the east coast, where you've got the Farne Islands, and Lindisfarne, one of my favourite places in the world.
Northumbria, that whole...
Absolutely. And so,
Listen, I'm gonna do a song. We're gonna. Is that okay? And then we'll pull the other. And it's about letting things speak.
Yeah.
Okay, letting the land speak. I find actually, one of my favourite verses ever when I was in my own depression, which was quite deep and horrible, was I need you to get to the hills, the Lake District. One of my favourite places. Yeah. Is Scotland in microcosm, which is the lakes, and go up to the northern lakes and just walk and not be interrupted by anybody, not face any of the stuff that there was. But I run to the hills from whence cometh my help. Yeah. All right, and it was that. But this song I wrote with my friend Paul Field, the songwriter. He entitled one of his albums actually. And recorded this way back when on the album All That Matters, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You're right.
And this was for Stuart, wasn't it?
Stuart suggested it. Yes, he did. Actually, yes.
If only we would listen through the noise and chaos of our days. Lord, give us time to fix our minds on you and to hear what you would say. Still you speak, if only we would listen through the wars and conflicts of our time. Lord, if each day we'd kneel and pray to you, what wisdom we could find. Word of life, voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Still you speak, if only we would listen and obey. Still you speak, if only we would listen through the creeds and doctrines that divide. Lord, teach us still to seek your will and let your voice speak through our lives. Word of life, voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Still you speak, if only we would listen, listen and obey. Still you speak, if only we would listen. Through the years that come and go so fast, Lord, may your ways shape all our days until we see your face at last. Word of life, voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Word of life, voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Still you speak, if only we would listen, listen and obey. Now,
Enjoyed that.
nice song. Now, so let's look at some little bit more, and then
There's
just
another beach one, I think, coming up when
that'll
Rachel's
come.
ready
We like the
for
beach.
it. We
Tell
like
us
the
about
beach,
that one then.
yes.
I can't see it yet, but I'm sure it's
Oh,
coming.
it's coming up
Yes,
soon.
it's
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
Okay, thanks, Rachel Claire. Thanks for doing what you're doing.
Here it comes. Ah, my favourite place on earth.
Oh, right, is this
this
it?
one's lovely.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is Emmanuel Point
Ah,
on Lindisfarne. So those of you who don't know where Lindisfarne is, it is northeast England in Northumberland. There are 27 Farne Islands, which are islands from tiny kind of very small rocks to bigger islands where you can kind of land on a boat, and they are scattered around the Northumberland coast. And the biggest one by far is attached by a 2 to 3 mile causeway, which twice a day is completely cut off by the tide.
wow.
And becomes the most remote, beautiful island.
Yes.
And on that island is this, you can see there on the picture, a daymark, which is this kind of white pyramid. And it's kind of at one of the, it's basically the point where they like to make sure ships don't crash into the island. But it's a place of peace and a place where you can just sit and listen to nature, listen to yourself, listen for whatever you're looking for. You know, you can just sit and just enjoy being somewhere which is remote and just looks out onto the sea. But there's a nature reserve there as well, so you see lots of birds.
And it has the virtue of being called Emmanuel, which for people who are not
It's God with
faithful,
us, yeah.
God with us.
Exactly.
Island. I mean,
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
That's quite an interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And
I have never been there. We were
Wow.
supposed to be going up there to. There was a place that somebody offered us on Lindisfarne, and
yeah.
we
stayed
never
there
made it.
many times, and it's one of those places where when you do stay there, when the island gets cut off by the tide, there aren't many people staying on the island apart from a few residents, and so you get the experience of just utter tranquility and peace. And those of you who are interested in history, back in around 635 AD, a monk called Aidan, he's known now as Saint Aidan, but I'm sure to his friends he was just called Aidan. And
all right, mate.
yeah, and he was given the island by King Oswald to start a work there, a monastery there, where they would then kind of from that place, they would use it as a base to go into the mainland and minister to people with plague, people with all kinds of hunger, and they would work there. So it's a beautiful place to go.
Let's have another picture up, can we?
Yeah. This one's a mountain one.
These are the Coolins again, but different angle.
Yes, that's the Coolins. That's the Coolins for you.
They all like the Coolins.
Yes, that's right.
Now, this part of the book is shot on traditional film cameras. So everyone's familiar with
35mm.
with their digital cameras. Yeah, that shot on 35mm film cameras, because I grew up with that, and so I've never let that go. And that is for me kind of real authentic colors and grain, and just the kind. I love the whole feel of a film photo. And this was taken, actually was on the road and driving through the range, and it was in winter, and you just get those moments when you're in the Coolins, which you'll know for having been there, is that you get sudden bursts of light through the snow clouds. And so I just literally had to stop, get out, and just get this photo, which I adore, because it's just full of colour. It's full of
beautiful.
That light coming across through the mountain range.
All those different shades of blue. I mean, it's stunning, isn't it?
So lovely. And mixing in with the authentic film just gives it, for me,
lovely,
it gives it a real...
I hope you viewers are enjoying this.
They are, they're loving it.
I hope this is like a little kind of a journey through. It's
a
fantastic.
window into my weird world.
Yes, right. And what's that last one?
There was just the last one is just the picture of the book itself.
Oh, yeah, from the Isle of Harris, that is.
Yes.
Yeah, so you got a couple of wind farm there on the Isle
yes,
of
that's
Harris.
what they are.
Yeah, I see those
Yes.
spinning around. They get a lot of use there, get a lot of wind there.
Yes, a lot of wind on there, yes.
But yeah, with the snow and stuff.
Can we get back to you, Chris? Let's have you back on screen now.
Please, on the screen.
These have been an interesting journey for you.
Yeah.
Did it change your life?
Yeah, I'd say it definitely did. I'd say it brought me a peace that when I began the journey, I didn't even know that I needed. It's funny, I think when you are in a place of stress and a place of difficulty, I don't think you always know it in the front of your head. No. Somewhere in the back and somewhere in your psyche, you're aware that there is an issue and you're dealing with something. But for me, it was a process of having been my first kind of, let's get out there quickly, come back, and then over the next few weeks realize what a difference it made to me in terms of my mental health. I then began to think, I'm going to go again, and just keep this journey going, which is why it lasted 5 years, because it was allowing the kind of the nature and allowing that kind of it to have its effect on me slowly.
Did you feel, I mean, those of we never pull any punches here. Did you feel that God, as you understood him, did he speak to you in this?
Definitely.
In this desolation, on the edge?
Yeah, for me, I am a Christian, so obviously I'm following Jesus, and for me, I felt like I was able to give a lot of that worry and anxiety to Jesus, and to allow him to just take it. I don't know how he does it. And for me, I feel like God is in nature. That's all I could say. Yeah. I didn't say any magic prayers. I didn't pray with anyone. I didn't meet with anyone. I just sought remote places and walked, hiked, and just photographed what I saw.
I totally get, I totally get this. Actually, can I just say, having been just in the Isle of Wight just recently, my soul, which is troubled because I've got so much stuff going on and so many medical things happening, and it's existential. It's about, am I going to be here in a year's time? And you suddenly, you know what gets me every time is the waves. For me, it's just watching. I sit there for hours just watching the waves. Yeah. I go to sleep listening to waves because they're kind of circular, but they change. They're ever so slightly different. Yeah. And that perpetual nature, and nature in itself is just a wonderful. This book is. I think a lot of people will find this to be a great help to them, Chris. A lot of people for whom a lot of you can't get out, and I thought of this today. A lot of you can't get out. You're bed bound, or you're homebound. You might be shielding, or you're older and you can't. It's more difficult, and so you live vicariously through others, and your journey is through somebody else having had that journey. I mean, would you say say this is an experience that you thought could be shared with people?
Yeah, I mean that's why it's in this. I mean, I have had the book was released a week ago, and I've had messages this week from people who've bought it to say to me felt like it was almost like a meditation that as they looked through the pictures and read some of the text that I put with each photo, that it just brought calm, brought peace to them. And that's really what I wanted, was that somehow the depth that I found in the landscape. That's what I always kind of, when I think back on my time traveling there, I feel like I found something deeper than myself.
Yes.
And I think that's what I hope people will get from this, that they'll find something deeper than themselves.
Well, I'm absolutely sure. And do you know what? I think actually the wonderful thing about having met you now properly, I think we've started to cement a friendship and a shared thing. And I love this. Yeah. This is what I love. This is what the whole family thing is. Is that you meet people like this, and I know Sue feels the same. Yeah. So, and this is the richness of it, the tapestry that we share these kind of things. And it's so totally outside my area of expertise. I love the fact that it's something I can't do and I haven't got a clue. I just go, point and shoot and kind of thing. Whereas what you're doing is something very different.
It's a much more of a craft, and it's speaking to people. I mean, people have just responded viscerally to your pictures. And people are saying you need to get out to Northern Ireland and do the same thing.
You need to go to Belfast. You do. You need to go up to the glens up there in Northern Ireland, and the top and the right hand side.
A lot of people too are asking where they can get your book from.
Yes,
that's it. Now tell us into the camera.
Claire has been sharing it, but go for it, Chris.
Yeah, so there's a website for the book, and it's called beautyinthewild.click. So it's the name of the book. .click.
.click. CLICK. Okay,
and
beauty
it's worldwide shipping. So if people are watching from Barbados or wherever, it can go anywhere.
And you're not doing it as a thing from home. It's done on your behalf.
No, I'm doing it.
You're doing it from home.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Excellent, even better. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So no, and I would can I just encourage you, as I encourage, if you have money and you'd like to buy this. How much is the book, Chris?
£30.
It's £30, but dead on, right? None of this £29.99 rubbish. It's £30. Plus the postage, which is going to be at £1.50 or something like that. So it's really important, if you'd like to support people like Chris, myself, people who are in the entertainment and photography, this kind of industry that has been so heavily hit over this time. Freelancers have been wiped out. So if you've got the money, you can afford to do it and would like to do it, go to, let me tell you a bit more time.
Beautyinthewild.click.
Beautyinthewild.click. And he's going to be delighted to sign copies for you.
Yeah, if you want.
All right.
You can ask for it to be signed on the notes. You can write it on the notes. You can say
on the notes. You can
I won't
say,
sign it unless you ask me. I don't want to devalue it.
No, exactly. But it would be nice. I'm sure that you would say lots of love to, and that's what we do.
Yeah. It's an exquisite book, people. It's absolutely beautiful.
It's just
really
beautiful.
Is lovely. It's and it touches you whilst you're looking at it.
So why don't we sing a song which is quite okay.
Okay.
Okay. Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely, show tenderness in all your ways.
Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim.
Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame. God speed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love.
Be righteous,
your kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes. God hold you and fold you and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. God hold you and fold you and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. And you'll be able to hear Sue sing that one on the new album. She sings it really beautifully.
Thank you. I would particularly like to dedicate that to Sheila, our dear friend Sheila, who's had a really horrible year. Lost her husband at the early part in January, and has obviously struggled with lockdown and being on her own. And now tomorrow she's going in to have surgery. And our hearts go out with you, and we are with you in spirit, Sheila. And that one, you wanted a nice, gentle one, so I hope that was gentle enough for you. But we love you, and we're going to be praying for you this week and keep in touch with you.
And we also
okay.
remember your dear Bernard.
Yes,
right?
we love Bernard.
He remains in our heads.
Yeah.
One of the gentlest and kindest men I've ever known. And it's a sad loss, but equally his memory stays with us. And we share that in the community. And we look after you as much as we can. We can't be there to be with you physically, but we can be there. And the love of the community and the JV family, as Adrian so beautifully put it, is with you. And all of you who are feeling particularly lonely. And can I say that this desolation thing, I lived my whole performing life. Eventually I gave up because of the loneliness. I couldn't bear it anymore. And I lived a life of really basically, it felt to everybody else to be sexy and wonderful. For me, it was just another airport, another country, and another opera.
And you were very lonely, and you were on the phone a lot.
I knew I was on the phone a lot, but it was that I understand that feeling. I explained it to my mother the other day. When I was away in Germany, I used to have a diary. I was there for so long rehearsing, and I used to cross each day off. Literally, I got into the room, my bedroom in the hotel, and I crossed that day off, and I just went, right, that's done, and it's physically crossed it off. So that being on your own, a feeling. That in the Alone Again, Naturally. Remember that song? Such a sad song. I listened to it the other day. And I thought, actually, for many of you, you feel on your... But we want you to feel, in the JV community, we want you to feel that you are... I don't always respond to you, but other people are doing that. You're looking after each other. You don't need me micromanaging this all. You can do it yourselves. That's the whole point, all right? This is you looking after each other. I will say this, always be kind in the community.
Yeah.
I don't want any spitefulness. If anybody uses it as a platform to try and push their views forward, I do not push my political views forward on that at all. My private page, it's fine. But in this, what we do is you use it to care for each other in these very difficult times. And
to keep that awareness of each other and each other's needs and each other's backgrounds
at
going.
Forefront.
And that's what you've been doing. So thank you.
We thank you also for your attention about the charity. Stand by your guns, and I know many of you are going to want to give to this. And your generosity over the making of the album. This is, we're really working so hard to get this out. It's so much to do. It's not a simple thing. So I'm going back and forward to Brighton trying to get it done before I have to have an operation, and then I can no longer do it. So I want to get that first one done, and we're recording on the 23rd and 24th and 25th. There's for the album 2, for volume 2, and I've got all kinds of things. Sue, do you want to talk a little bit about products and giving and everything else?
Yes, the usual thing. If you would like to buy something of Jonathan's, then that would be lovely. We would appreciate that very much. We still have a cupboard full of things.
We really do.
We
I'll
talked
show you a
about
picture. I'll take a
put it
picture
on
of it,
picture, yeah.
and I'll show you how full it is.
The Hymns Projects 1 and 2, many of you are really enjoying those, so thank you very much for those of you who've ordered them. The books, the music books go with them as well, so they are great. Some wonderful new tunes, and I was telling Sheila, actually, we were just talking about Sheila and Bernard. When Bernard was ordained a couple of years ago, we went to Chester Cathedral, and in the middle of that service, Jonathan suddenly went, I've got to start writing tunes for old words, and that's where that moment came from.
Yeah, and I remember writing it as I was sitting there.
Yes, he started humming loudly.
Humming a tune. I've got it in my head. I thought, oh yeah, and that was one that was really kicked
very
it
special.
off.
That was very special. So those are the Hymns Project CDs. You Raise Me Up is a very popular one that a number of you really love. Bridge Over Troubled Water was off that one tonight, so if you enjoyed that, that was on there. Many of you enjoyed Still You Speak, and those of you who are asking where's it from, it's on All That Matters. And that's the only place that we've got it as well.
Yes.
So the books too are good fun, and a lot of you were sort of joking tonight about how Jonathan is such a humble man. You know, he's so talented. We know he's so talented. Can I just tell you, he cannot put a shelf up to save his life. So those of you who are able to do DIY, they, you know,
I
he's
had
a
that
man.
down tonight to tell. All right, but we've
Another
got
time,
too many guests.
another
but
time.
I
There
will
are,
tell
there
you
are
next
many
week. Remind
stories
me.
that we could tell, but there's a particularly funny one that he will tell next week about how he cannot do DIY. But if you're wanting a good laugh, the two books are what you need and what you want. They are all available on jonathanvera.com. And those of you who would like to give to us, bless you. For those who do, we are available on either sending it through to paypal.me/JonathanVera, all one
you
word.
say that.
Or if you would like to find out our bank account details and do it that way, then that's fine. Then you can contact me on sue@jonathanvera.com.
And once again, we thank those people who were so generous
Indeed,
last week. They really
indeed.
were. And
Very
again,
kind.
And so, you know, and again, we are still giving this 25%. We don't.
And can I just say, there were a lot of wonderful comments that were very moving. So thank you very much tonight for being so wonderful and so supportive and so kind. We do not take it for granted, and we are blessed every day by your kindness. So thank you so much for what you give back to us. You're very kind about what we give to you, but thank you for what you give back to us. That means a huge amount to us.
Brilliant. I think we're coming to the end. We started 5 minutes late,
so
so we've got to finish. We got, here it is, and the what we always finish with the Aaronic blessing. It's not the ironic blessing. That would be the Lord bless you and keep you. Yeah, right. That's ironic. This is not ironic. This is. I'm just saying this for Chris because this is one that we wrote for the new album, and it's the people always say, why is it so? It feels. I don't know. One girl writes me, she said, I don't know what's wrong, but she said, it really feel. I don't believe anything, but she said, it makes me feel different. And I thought, yeah. I said, well, it's been going for thousands of years. So it has some virtue just in the length of who wrote it. And for many of you know this tune now. And it's going to be on the new album in a slightly different version with the kids sing with me and Sue. And we have a bit of harmony as well. But you've been a lovely audience. The Lord... Oh, let me try singing tune. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you. The Lord the Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace, and give you his peace. We thank the lovely Chris for coming. We hope you've enjoyed it, Chris.
Thank you for having me. It's been amazing.
It's been a great pleasure. Come again, and we'll go through the next 6 pictures. Okay? We'll talk more about the journey.
Love to.
Love to.
Thank you.
Brilliant. God bless you. Have a good week. We'll see you next week.
God bless you, everyone. See you next week. Bye.